Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and wow, do I have some exciting news for you today. Finally, Legendary Pictures on Twitter announced that coming this Sunday, they will have for us the first world premiere trailer of Godzilla vs. Kong. I have been looking forward to this movie for so long. It has been my most anticipated film since it was announced a few years ago, and I just have been hungry for a trailer, for something to get an image of what these two titans are going to look like battling one another. We got a little bit of a spoiler, last summer with Godzilla vs. Kong fighting very briefly what seemed to be on a giant ship, which now we know is that. We saw different takes on that poster of Kong winding up for a punch against Godzilla's face, black and white version of it, greenish, grayish, blue version versus orangish, reddish version, Then we finally got a full-on image of the back of a toy box from Playmates. And we saw that, wow, Kong is as tall as Godzilla. There's no doubting it. He's actually taller, That makes him like at 400 feet, which is nuts. Because for a while we were wondering, is he going to be, like 150 feet tall, which would be 50 feet taller than he was in the 1960s in Kong Skull Island? Would he grow to 200 feet tall, doubling that height in the last 40 years? Or would he come up to Godzilla's chest and be at like 300 where Godzilla continued on to 400? But no, he's as tall, if not taller. People are looking at that poster and saying, well, Godzilla's hunched over and Kong's jumping. No, Kong's not even jumping. 1 foot's on the ground. Godzilla might not be completely vertical, but regardless of whether one is 20 feet higher or not, that percentage difference is negligible when they're both, pushing 400 feet. I'm going to play this. This came a couple of days ago, but it's beautiful, It's this shot right here, pretty much, it's pretty much this shot that we got that tease of back last summer. But it was blurry, it was grainy, it was even shorter than this footage right here today. And you can check that out on my YouTube channel as well. But it was like, holy cow, Kong is as tall as Godzilla. What? And then, it was basically confirmed. Yeah, that is legit. That's final. We knew it was legit then, but to really see the scope of what they were going for on the back of that box set, the Playmates box set, that was like, okay, they're going there. They're going there. And it is on a ship. We thought maybe it wasn't a ship. Maybe it was like a ship that was docked, and it kind of served as, military-esque. Ships could come to it, planes could go off it, but it actually wasn't floating in the water itself. It was kind of like docked to the side of a mountain. It was, a few hundred feet deep, concrete, just stationary, and it could crack and crumble, but it's not just this thing that's floating out in the ocean. Because, when myself and other Mega Godzilla, Mega Kong fans were talking about it, we're like, their weight is tremendous. Their size is nuts. How could something like this get supported? How could a ship floating support them? How deep would the ship have to be? So it kind of made more sense to think maybe it's not just floating out in the middle of the ocean, but it's rather docked. It's not a ship. It just has a section of it that, is, 50 feet deep, but the bulk of it is, like several hundred feet, deep. But that's not the case. But anyways, we're looking at this footage, and it's just awesome. I'm sure they'll make some sense out of it. Maybe it is truly this just epically large ship blowing out of the water, literally blowing out of the water, blowing out our actual, 2021 ships that we have constructed as a human race in our world, and it's just something that makes sense in their world. It is just bigger, and it is just, stronger. Yeah, we're suspending, our imagination believing that in this world creatures such as this could exist, but we still want that realism in terms of, well, if they're existing, in order to make it feel more immersive, that it could feel like it exists in our world, certain things, certain laws of physics have to take place as well, Structure, weight distribution, composition of materials. Yeah, they could be a little bit more advanced in technology than us. Or you could even say, and I said this in one of my videos back in the day, that this US government, this world populace should be a little bit more advanced than us in our respective 2021, because they've had to deal with kaiju since 2014 publicly with Godzilla, and secretly since the 1960s or even earlier with Kong, and with earlier signs of some nuclear testing, and we've got some claw marks on the sides of ships and something's out there. So you could say that their planning stages were earlier in time that brought them up to in 2021. They've still got the Nintendo Switch out, then PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X in their 2021. They've still got the iPhone 12 Pro that just came out. But on the side, from advancements in weapons and technologies and ships and stuff like that, they should be further. So if you allow that to go into your mind, which makes sense, then you could figure like, okay, that's how these two behemoths could stand and how something could withstand their weight floating in the ocean. That's what I did for my own peace of mind. Maybe the movie will play it a little bit more. But part of the reason why I'm doing this discussion today isn't just to show you this footage that you've already seen online for a couple of seconds worth many times like me. Isn't just to talk about the trailer Sunday, but it's to show the poster. And you can see I've got the poster teased down below here, but I'm going to show you the full thing, and I'll be able to make it bigger actually. Here we go. How big can we get it? There we go. There we go. That is the One Will Fall poster. Finally, we have something different from Legendary and from Warner Brothers. The whole movie looked like, dang it, just Kong winding up and Godzilla eating a punch, and that's it. And we knew that wasn't going to be it. The film's going to have a couple-hour runtime. But I gotta say, this hype train has been different than anything else, because sometimes you almost see too much of a movie. There's certain superhero films that you see that they just showed off the bad guy that you didn't know was going to be in it. Like they were going to have Doomsday. What? That would have been crazy if Doomsday was revealed, in the movie and not in the trailer for Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, as an example. Or certain trailers even within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You see 3 full 2-minute long trailers of the movie and different commercials in different spots, and overall you've got I've seen 15-20 minutes of the film. A lot of those action pieces you only get one time to live for the first time, and then we obviously watch these movies many times over, the ones that we love, but you always think back to the first time as the one that holds the most weight, the most shock value. I'm going to be shocked at almost everything in Godzilla vs. Kong. We were originally supposed to get the movie November 20th last year. And that was actually not even the original date. It was March 13th of last year. So now getting it May 26th and then bumping up, May 21st and bumping up to March 26th. Getting jumbled up. It's been all over the place, and to think all that time we haven't seen anything. I remember leading up to that original March of 2020 release, back when it was, September of 2019, I was thinking, when are we going to get this thing? And then eventually there's a reason why they didn't show the trailer, because the movie was announced that it would be delayed. And then until November. And as you get close to that, delayed until next May. So I'm just thankful, on the one hand, we're getting it 2 months early. And I gotta say, even though the wait was difficult, it's not like this is the only thing that I was looking forward to in life, you know? And that's the thing that you got to look at. This is one of my most passionate follows of the last few years, you know? I've been looking forward to different video games coming out, different consoles coming out, different movies, different events that, you know, you always have something to look forward to, and then boom, you have some surprises. Godzilla vs. Kong has been one of them. If this was the only thing that you were looking forward to for 2 years, it would be kind of sad, because here, after all that wait, it took until January of 2021, just 2 months prior to the movie coming out, thanks to that new bump, to finally see a trailer. Really, all that time, if you had nothing else to look forward to, that's a long time to wait to finally have like that clarification of, oh, this is the movie's vision, this is the trailer. But fortunately for you, like me, we live rich, variety-filled lives where we've got that next video game to look forward to playing, the next movie that's not Godzilla vs. Kong, something cool in your family life, a new book to read, a new comic book to read, a new TV show, something that's coming back from an old season that's, going to be new again. Job dynamic, exercise, self-health, etc. We've got different things that carry us on, So we don't have all the eggs in one basket, even though this is a basket that requires a very big egg, 2 very big eggs to help satisfy. But, time has gone on in the last couple of years. Godzilla vs. Kong has always been something on my mind. It's never really left. I always look forward to seeing it. I'm really happy of all of the things, I look forward to. Different superhero movies, different video games coming out. Announcements on stuff like the Super Nintendo World theme park opening up in Japan. Different things that are exciting. Godzilla vs. Kong has truly been one of the top things. Number one in terms of movies, but also close to number one in terms of just anything pop cultural related, because I've been a lifelong Godzilla fan. I was a lifelong King Kong fan. I'm wearing my King Kong shirt today, but really, going back to being a little kid and watching these VHS tapes and eventually, being able to see some in film. I've got this giant King Kong from Peter Jackson's movie poster prop up. I've got some really cool old figurines of Godzilla from 1985 when I was just 2 years old. Bunch of movies, bunch of regular posters, different collectible things, Taco Bell, Godzilla cups and whatnot, King Kong keychains, King Kong, the video game. Just an overall, you could say slight obsession with both monsters, and it's just really exciting. And I've got one more picture right here for you. Same image, but just wide. We've got the beautiful blues and greens that's been synonymous with Godzilla in his marketing and whatnot. Matches his radioactive breath just right. 2014's look, 2018's look. His radioactive breath, his spikes. Got King Kong standing there looking on like he is towering over some buildings far bigger than what I think we were anticipating. And he's got this orange red, that was kind of a synonymous look with his Kong Skull Island film, Vietnam War era Skull Island with those awesome sunsets, explosion, the napalm. It's awesome. You see his fur here, how cool that looks. Zoom in a little bit and you can see it's got texture. He might even have had a burn here. Some of this fur looks a little bit different. Then it could just be smoke. Also, you might not be able to see it because this is a little bit smaller for you than it is me, but he's got a little bit of a chip in his ear. And that's kind of a detail that's pretty neat to see because that was in Kong Skull Island. So this is an awesome shot. I can't wait to do a reaction video this Sunday. I ended up talking for over 10 minutes over just a 2-second clip on play several times. plus these two posters and then just kind of bringing to this long journey. I haven't made a ton of Godzilla vs. Kong videos, just a few, but my excitement has never wavered. It's just, not a whole lot to talk about along the way. I don't want to go into spoiler territory. I hope the movie trailer doesn't show off too much. I have a feeling I know of something that's going to happen in the movie, something that's going to be present. I am okay knowing it if it's true, but I'd almost rather it not be quite what I think and just kind of be like purely surprised. Like I said, it's that first time watch that really sticks with you. You don't want to be spoiled. Technically, when you watch the movie numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, your 8th time watching it, you already know what's going to happen, but you still feel excited as if you were watching the first time, just a little bit lower. And it's different than if you were spoiled before a movie comes out and then watch it for the first time. It's just not the same, So anyways, I'm pumped. Thanks for watching with me. This has been my long discussion over that couple of second clip, letting you know that the trailer's coming Sunday, showing you this badass poster or two, and thanks for watching with me. Hope my excitement rubs off on you. Let me know what you think. Are you Team Godzilla? Are you Team Kong? I love both. I don't get the people that hate the other, right? That's like some console fanboy stuff when you just hate another system. Why deprive yourself from another system's positive attributes? You're only hurting yourself because guess what? No system actually sucks. When it comes to video games, Nintendo's got some good exclusives. PlayStation's got some good exclusives. Xbox has got some good exclusives. All three different systems, and I'm only relating it to video games because that's kind of my main thing. All three video game consoles have their positive attributes. It's like people that go into, Marvel versus DC, this one sucks, that one sucks. No, neither one sucks. They're both good for different reasons. They both do well. When it comes like this to martial arts too, trust me, karate's better, taekwondo's better, wrestling sucks, jiu-jitsu sucks, boxing's the best, no, Muay Thai would be better than that one, and so forth and so forth. None of them suck. It comes down to the practitioner. Each one has some positives and negatives, but it's so much more complicated than just saying one's the best. You might be a fan of one more than the other, but there's no reason to hate the other. You could definitely be rooting for one. Like for me personally, as much as I love both, and I've been a Godzilla fan and a Kong fan for probably an equal amount of time, I've obviously watched more Godzilla movies because more exist, but the Kong movies mean a lot to me too. They both mean a lot. I'm rooting for Kong in the movie. One of my thoughts, I didn't know if this was going to happen, but I thought, how could Kong win? Because I'm looking at the timeline in his years, and even in the follow-up comic book to Kong Skull Island, I'm actually having some more discussion right now, which is pretty exciting. In that follow-up comic book, he was bigger, but they kind of scratched out how much bigger. So how much taller did he get in 20 years, right? And if you look at his World War II height to the 1960s height, and then to the 1990s height, what is the cause of this all of a sudden true spike into the 400 feet territory? Because, this is the largest jump respectively to how many years have taken place from that comic book. And that also makes me wonder about the new graphic novel. When are we going to get that? Because that's got to come out soon too. Kong versus this giant bat. That's got to happen. So maybe it'll be a drop that comes out before the film, before March 26th, and that would be kind of nice. My guess was in 2014, after Godzilla had his fight and radioactive breath was going on and reactors going off and Mutos doing their thing, maybe this spiked an overall resurgence of this dormant radioactivity that now seeped into Kong's Skull Island, and made Kong grow at a higher rate. He was originally going at this point, and then 2014 came, boom. And then now, after 6 years, 7 years, he's, bigger and badder than ever before. Why is he so much bigger than his parents? Is it truly just an age thing? Did he truly just live longer than any of the Kongs? Or is he unique to his species? What about that cave painting? Was that the prophecy of one day there would be a Kong species that would become that big that could fight off Godzilla, and that one would determine the king of the monsters who won? Or is it a legendary old Kong and just one hasn't come in so many years, and the birth of our King Kong is that, second coming? Did they fight back in the day? Not this one, but the other Kong in the painting against this Godzilla, a different Godzilla? Whew, that's a lot of speculation. That's a lot of talk. And now we're at like 20 plus minutes, so I think that's going to do it. But if you weren't looking forward to the movie, hopefully my energy and my excitement rubbed off on you so that you're now kind of excited too. And if you always were looking forward to it, well then, welcome to my channel. Mostly I talk about video game news, martial arts. I have martial arts tutorial, but I love everything else, comes to good comic books, good movies, good trailers, TV shows, and stuff like that. I'm a fan of a lot of things. That's going to do it for now, I think. I think this is my final outro. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned Sunday for my reaction video. It's going to be wild. It's going to be one of the most intense things probably that gets that power out of me that I've had in a long time. With that being said, take it easy. See you next time. Paul Gale Network signing out. Bye.